Okay, so yesterday you heard me on the phone.
Yes.
For how long?
I think about 3 hours.
That was one conversation, right?
Yes.
That was the last one. But I was going through a hard time yesterday. I quit. Not quit. I took the day off. I said, I'm going to take the day off. Because there's some things that I need to do that are going to help. And it's going to help. But one of the things I would do is help the flying doggy. You know, God, she's a needy one. But so there's certain things. In order for me to really make the Unified Martial Arts Network OGs, older guys, older girls, Fountain of Youth Martial Arts Tour successful, is to have an all-out effort and an army of people doing their part. That's why I say us one. Now the difficult part about it is that most people, there you go, now you understand it. She's like the weed, look at that. All right. All right. She likes that. Yeah, some people. So, but I was having a hard time because people haven't pre-registered as much as last time.
Yes.
I had to change the date. It would have been this weekend that passed, as you know.
Yes.
Which would have been the day after your birthday, which we had to take your birthday now, even though she's been extending it. She started it before her birthday. Right? Anyway, that's another note. But we had to take the birthday and change the date. So February 7th didn't work out. Then we moved it to February 28th. And then moving it to February 28th, there was a problem. What was the problem? There were two events, 1 week before and 1 week after. And I'm not, honestly, I don't know, what the history of that is, but regardless, I was put in a bad position, I put myself in a bad position.
Yeah.
But I was still trying to push it. Then there's also Chinese New Year this month. Happy Chinese New Year to a lot of guys, to all of you who follow that. And so that was limited. And then there's a thing called Valentine's Day. So we got Valentine's Day, an event next weekend. Then it would have been my tournament, then another event. So in other words, it wasn't in a good position. So just like in the world of fighting, you have to be able to pivot, turn your body in order to make things work or to not get hurt. So I had to do the same thing with the tournament. Mm-hmm. Thank God that the LPAC Center was flexible enough to give me some options. But I go through this emotional roller coaster ride sometimes where I just get pissed off and I get turned off when I think that I'm not being understood. Now that's being a little immature, I know, but it's just, being human. I hate when people are ungrateful. And I hate the fact that sometimes people want to take your time just because they want to use you. Mm-hmm. And I don't give people that much opportunity. Like there's times where I speak to people on the phone, and I haven't spoken to them in a long time. And I speak to them about a whole bunch of subject matters. Yes. And most of them don't, honestly, most of them are not really that freaking intelligent. Now, I'm saying it like that because there's basic things that some of them just don't get. I don't understand how they don't get it. Mm-hmm. But it's because I've always thought differently. For example, my life was always miserable. I'm saying it. I was a father at age 17. So can you imagine the pressure at age 16 before you become a father?
Yes.
I mean, you're 30 now, and you're with me. If we were in a situation where we were going to have a baby, which is not the case, guys, she's just eating a lot. Her cousins thought that she... Anyway, that's another note.
Yeah.
But everything changes, right? Your mindset changes. You start you can't even sleep. You think, oh my, what am I going to do? I'm going to make sure I do the best. And can you imagine that at age 16? So that's what happened to me. So when I went to karate tournaments, I had a chance to escape from reality.
Even better.
At least a little positive thing. I wasn't hanging out.
I wasn't hanging out
right,
or anything.
Doing, making things worse. However, and I could have, because Monday through Wednesday I was in Taft High School with some of the biggest thugs that there was, and on the weekend they were robbing people, and I was going to tournaments robbing people by winning grand champion or winning trophies. I was just winning money eventually, not in the beginning. So I would go to these tournaments, and I knew that all these kids had to be like in their best behavior because they had their karate instructors and they had to be like real serious.
Yeah.
To me, I'm like the kid with no father. You know, I'm just hanging out with all the different gangs. Cause every karate style, and you go all the way to Brooklyn, and you go to a gym, Bishop Ford High School, and in the tournament called Yin Yi Kwan, they had 3 tournaments a year. So you go to the tournament, and you see the Goju stylists on that side. You see the Harlem Goju stylists on that side. You see the Shotokan guys there. You see the Bronx Shotokan guys. You see the Taekwondo guys. You see 1 or 2 Kung Fu people too. And then you had the kickboxers, or the full contact fighters as they were known. So everywhere you went, it's almost like they sat with their own people.
Yeah.
Almost like in gym, not gym, yeah, gym too, in gym where everyone congregates or in the lunchroom. Everybody goes to their own table.
Goes to their own table.
Yeah, but those are like little gangs if you really think about it.
Yes.
So that's how karate tournaments were to me when I went to the open karate circuit. Taekwondo wasn't like that, but this is in the open karate circuit back in 1980 when I first saw this, and then 81. From there, everything changed. But I was the kid that did what the hell he wanted to do because nobody was telling me not to do. And I had a red Nike bag and a blue Nike bag, and I went to the tournament like I was hanging out in the corner. I was bopping, you know. I'm hip hop, right? So in one of the bags I had a box, meaning my radio, and I used to put my radio. I used to start locking, popping, booging, and breaking to warm up, and they used to get pissed off at me. I don't blame them. You're not supposed to do that karate tournament, but to me that was like the coolest shit to do. You know, I just want to freaking do martial arts, but my martial arts was based on hip hop, so I didn't want to bite nobody's style. You know, I didn't want to bite their uniforms. The uniforms were whack. Everyone was in white uniform, but it was dingy. Like, it wasn't really washed. You know, and then there was black uniforms that they were faded, so they were like gray. So everything was like dingy, like a black and white gray movie, except for one group called the Katsugan Warriors. They had a red uniform, and I couldn't understand how they got a red uniform. So I tried to dye a uniform red.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but you figured it made sense to me. So I went to dye this uniform, and what happens? I only have one Tintex. Tintex was the company name. That was the dye. I think now they call it Ride, but it was Tintex. And I didn't have enough money to buy 2 red dyes.
Uh-huh.
So I only bought 1. So when I dyed it, and I had to do it fast because you had to use the pot, the Oya.
Oh, yeah.
So imagine using your mother's Oya and putting some dye inside of it.
Ooh.
They're gonna kill you, right? And you had a boy. I had to hurry up before Mom found out. Exactly. So I only got 1 of them, so it came out reddish. Really, it came out. I said it was peach, but it was really pink. I still wore it, damn. I said, yeah, that's the original flavor, the original style. No one's gonna have a uniform like this.
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to use what you got, right? And no one's gonna have this. So now, how crazy that is. I mean, you got this, and I was the skinniest freaking kid. Skinny kid with a lot of hair.
Like,
yeah,
pink?
Yeah, I was, yeah. I was really, really skinny. So I go to this tournament. Now I got this uniform on. Before that, in 1981, I went to a karate tournament.
Thank you, George.
And I go to the karate tournament, Brother George, and something hit me. And what hit me was, I said, man, you know what? This is some boring ass shit. I love the karate tournaments, but they wanted you to be quiet. Like when everyone was doing kata, shh, quiet. You know, he's doing kata. I'm thinking, and any other freaking activity, if freaking you do kata or performance, you want them to applaud or cheer you on,
Woo!
right? But that wasn't it back in the days. Shh, quiet. He's doing sukajugo, mukajugo, all those freaking names. I'm like. All those damn names, and I was around with martial art for a long time, but I hated all the freaking foreign names because it was just stupid to me. It made no sense.
You couldn't understand it.
Right. So even though I understood that it was Korean, it was Japanese, I didn't give a damn. I'm Puerto Rican from the freaking Bronx, from Manhattan. I speak English.
English.
Exactly. So I speak Ebonics, they freaking anyway. So I love martial arts even to this very day, but that shit is corny to me. Like they do corny stuff.
Kamukanda Coco. Sorry.
Coco's still meditating.
Yeah. Sorry.
So anyway, so going back to the timeline. I'm a young kid. I'm going to be a father. I get a chance to go hang out in the karate tournament to have fun. And I used to make fun of everybody, like doing it today. Make fun of myself. Because I'm like hanging out in the corner. Everybody else was there serious. Oh, they've been practicing the kata, for weeks, for this tournament. And the instructors were like serious. They were there representing the school. And I'm like, man, I'm snapping on everybody. I'm like, And they were hating me. And then I put on music, and they don't know where the music's coming from. Because I went on the bleachers. They can't see. They're like, hey, who's that? Okay, I lowered it down. But I'm still dancing. Fuck them, man. Why? Because I want to have a good time. I'm hanging out of the corner. I need some music. You can't hang out of the corner with no music.
Yeah, no. You need something.
Right? So, these people were pissed off at me, and I understood it. Now I'm going to go fight. And they're even more pissed off. Because the truth is that I didn't know at the time what I was doing. But I was changing martial arts. I don't know if it was for the better, but I was changing martial arts. Because my expression of martial art, see, Bruce Lee said there's no styles. So if you have no style, that means they're all styles. That means I blend. I learned how to kick this way, punch that way. I didn't give a damn. Plus, I was very personable, so I met people that would come from out of state. Oh, that was the worst thing, too. Like, when somebody would come from out of state, it was like they were an outsider, right?
Yep.
And I used to talk to the outsiders. So I was like they didn't like me because of that. Yo, keep it in New York. That was one of the things. If you fought in New York, you had to keep it in New York. And then he had someone like Billy Blanks come from Erie, Pennsylvania. He's not even from New York or New Jersey. Now he's from Pennsylvania. And I'm talking to him. Because he was, I won my first grand champion in 1981 as a junior. And Billy Blanks, actually I won 2 that year, but Billy Blanks won the men adult grand champion when I won the children's grand champion. Even though I won the children's grand champion, I wasn't a black belt, but I beat the black belts in that. And that was in the Eastern American Superstar Tournament, September, I think it's 18th. I got to check the date. September 18th or something like that, but it was 1981. So then I won another grand champion in 1981. But I fought this dude. But I'm going to say who he is because he's phenomenal, one of the baddest martial artists, and he's probably better now than 99.9% of the people. And that's Michael Jai White. But he wasn't Michael Jai White, he was just Mike White. He was 13 years old, and I was 15 years old. And that freaking dude was big. I wanted him to check. I said, that's a man. He looks like a freaking man. So I beat him for junior grand champion at Lamar Thornton's tournament, and I felt like a superhero. So 1991, I won 2 grand championships, and then I went to the U.S. Open in Florida. That was a huge tournament, 1,000+ competitors, and I'm like, oh my God! We took the bus all the way down there, and just me and Jonas Nunes. So, and forms, I hated forms. Yeah, I hated forms because I couldn't remember things. Like I got so nervous one time doing forms, I forgot my name. Like, how freaking stupid is that? But and I'm not being funny. It's the truth. I was like, even now when I think about it, it wasn't cool unless I can just do what I want. So I said, you know what? They don't know my form anyway, so I'm gonna make up my stuff on the spot. And then I won. How do you think the karate instructors were now? Even more pissed off. This freaking kid. He's always loud, doesn't pay attention. He doesn't do the ust. I never used anybody. I used to make fun of them. I said, "Aus." To me, it was like a sound, it was like a retard sound. Us.
Yeah.
Like that. How does that sound when you hear us?
Retarded.
Yeah. Dumb. I think we can't say that nowadays.
Sorry.
Maybe we'll be back. No, I'm sorry. You're still doing it anyway. So, I'm a teenager. So the bottom line is, as I was speaking yesterday to Marvelous Marv Farmer. Oh my God, this guy was like, in the ghetto, if you got swag, you the shiznick, right?
Hell yeah.
He had swag. Oh my God, Marvelous Marv Farmer. Anything that he did was like a freaking like poetry in motion, just smooth, man. And we were speaking yesterday, and we hadn't spoken to or saw Marvelous Marv Farmer for 40 years. He came to the UMAN OG tournament, and people were losing their mind because they're like, oh my God. So him and I went on the phone yesterday for about 3 hours, and the only thing sad about that is it wasn't recorded. But we will be interviewing him sooner than later, if not within the next 24 hours or so. Oh, did I say that? Because to me, is just a reminder that all I am is a martial arts fan who had an opportunity to become a competitor. And I love martial arts, but some of this damn stuff was so freaking corny that I couldn't get with the corny stuff. So I had to bring my flavor into it. And that opened up a big door for a lot of people years after, because they realized that it didn't have to be just that way. The kicking and punching to me was phenomenal. But the mannerisms were just dumb. A lot of people were abusive too. Like, you would have these guys, and women too, and they would talk at you like, hey, man, and I would, oh, they barking at me, but you didn't even know me. That wasn't even it. My mother went to a karate tournament, and she saw me bowing, and she didn't like the way people treated me. She said, don't you ever bow to the freaking people again. She said, that guy's a freaking junkie. That guy there is a freaking faggot. That guy over there, it's a, she just knew people. And she said, don't you ever bow to them. And that was it. That's why I started saluting. Because I wanted to give them respect for those who earned it. And she said to me, they don't want you to win. And she said, they don't want you to win because two reasons. First, because look at the way you do things. You don't do it like they do it. And you're Puerto Rican. Because in New York, you know, I'm going to say something, but you guys may not like it. But the truth is that they were racist. Racist. Everywhere I went, people were racist. You know, like Puerto Ricans or Latinos were. And I'm like, and it would bother me because I'm like, I don't give a damn about people's color, creed, religion. But they wanted to keep it in the family. So for some reason, I didn't see a lot of Latinos that were freaking winning. And I can understand because, for those of you who don't know, I'm black. What kind of black? Afro-Caribbean black. I'm just lighter than other people because my grandmother would be considered complete Afro-Caribbean. So I never understood how people try to accept divide and conquer bullshit with like race and creed. I don't get that. You know, one blood, one blood. But New York, honestly, if you was a Taekwondo style, it was the same thing. They were racist against the style too. Or style prejudice, I should say. Prejudice. Maybe racist is not the right thing. Prejudice. They were prejudiced to Kung Fu stylists. A Kung Fu stylist. So if you're a white Kung Fu stylist in New York, you're not winning nothing. If you are a Taekwondo stylist, because everything was predominantly Japanese and Okinawan styles. And they were phenomenal because they could sweep you. But their kicks were whack. And to me, karate was about kicking and punching. So the best kickers were the Taekwondo guys. But they couldn't punch. Their punches were whack. And I'm like, I got some great kicks, but my punches suck. Suck to the point where I got into a street fight when I was 10 years old, and I'm kicking the guy. Kick. He took me down, punched me in the eye, gave me a black eye. I'm like, so I figured, you know what? It was my fault. And I started training harder in karate. Taekwondo, actually, Tiger Kim's. And so this is 1976. And my boy Mike, Cannonball, freaking gave me a black eye. There's a whole story behind that, but now I'm embarrassed. This karate stuff doesn't work, but I still got to train. It's me. I got to make it harder. And then I stopped doing martial arts. I trained from 76 to 79. And I was supposed to take my black belt test, but they wanted $100. And I could have got got the $100 because my father used to give me $200 a month from his VA check. But what happened was, I said, by this time I'm 14 years old. Shit, I could buy some Shams the Parent shirts, and I could buy some freaking fly gear, some British Walkers, because now you're 13 years old, you're looking for girls, right? So I stopped doing martial arts and we relocated to a new area. When I went there, I was the new guy on the block, which means normally you're gonna fight, but I didn't fight. But in school, there was a new guy, and I was this guy, So I was one of I was down with the Papi Chu crew, And oh my God, who's that guy? So in a matter of days, you start saying hello, but hello, hey, I'm going down the hallway kissing hello. Some of the dudes are pissed off. They figure, man, this guy just got around here. Who the hell? I've been in class with that girl since kindergarten. I won't kiss her because we're friends. In the meantime, I want to kiss her. This guy comes out of left field. He's kissing everybody. Well, somebody didn't like that, so I get into a fight with this dude that wasn't even going to school. He was like me in the karate tournaments, meaning the guy that was kicked out of school. He's a thug, basically a thug. And I'm kicking him, and I'm embarrassing him. Like, yeah. And he throws a punch and hits my nose. It breaks my nose. My nose went from here to over here. Oh my God, this was 1980. I was so embarrassed. And now I said, I'm going to start training, but I'm going to start training for real. This shit is never going to happen again. So first there was the black eye, and then there was the broken nose. And when I went back to training, I was a maniac. To me, I spoke to my man, Mickey Henry Jackson, who at age 16, he's the one that got me to start teaching. But I'm thinking, I can't teach. I'm 16 years old. How do I know? He said to me, man, you was mean. What do you mean I was mean? He said, anyone that got in front of you, didn't matter who it was, he used to whip their ass. I said, yeah, this is martial arts. He said, but you know how many students we would have kept if we would have beat them like that? He was 100% right. But in my mind, I got a black eye and I had a broken nose. Now, when I go back to competition or to training, it's between 14 and 15. I'm a teenager. Now I'm freaking serious. This is never going to happen again. So 1980, December of 1980, after my nose was broken, I go to a karate tournament to test my skills. I'm a brown belt in Taekwondo, but I'm a sissy. I'm scared, so I'm not going to wear my brown belt because I don't know how to throw punches. So I figured, so I'm my own coach, so to speak, and I said, I'm going to wear a green belt, and then once I get the ball rolling, and then I'll move myself up, which is, think about it, it was a smart move. But anyhow, I can only do that if I'm in control of my destiny.
Yeah.
So I put on this green belt, go to a tournament, I take third place fighting. I meet this guy named Ty Mac. We call him Ty Mac. He ended up being, the year after, he became the last dragon, but him and I became friends immediately. And I saw this guy there that had these big Chinese Bruce Lee gloves. Look like junkie hands. Junkie with the hands. It sounds funny, guys. Sorry. And I'm not trying to make fun of junkies, but if you know, their arms will swell up sometimes. And he had these gloves, and he looked dope. And I looked at the guy and said, I remember that dude. He looked like Chinese, but, yeah. Because remember, Chinese is anyone Asian. Mm-hmm. So he had that Asian look, but his name was Jonas. And I'm like, oh, I remember the guy. Because I met Jonas Nunes about a year and a half before that. Because he went to Clinton High School with this guy named Louis Trujillo, who I was little Louis. Louis Trujillo to me was like, forget about it. He was like, he was the best kicker. He was Latino too, Dominican guy, could kick straight up. Yeah, I want to be like Louis, so I was known as Little Louis. And I went to a karate tournament with Jonas and Louis and a bunch of other guys. I was the only kid that was preteen. Mm-hmm. See, I was always hanging out with the older people. I was always hanging out with the older people. So I met Jonas at this tournament. It was Tommy Chen's tournament, and I remember it was a Christmas tournament. So and Jonas' brother played Santa Claus, Ruben, I think his name is. And Jonas said, "Come to work out in this basement in Decatur Avenue, the Bronx. Last stop of the D train, and he had to walk towards Gun Hill Road." So it was crazy because I go to the basement, and he had this dog in the corner. So he had to watch the dog. But then he had a cat, like as big as the dog. And the dog was a Great Dane, so it's a huge dog. It was crazy. And then there wasn't that much space, but he had a whole bunch of trophies. And he did push-ups and push-ups and sit-ups and sit-ups, all these freaking exercises. I don't want to do that shit at all. And then we started fighting, but when we fought, it was full contact karate, which is today known as kickboxing. And I wasn't good at that because I was a skinny kid. And he beat me up pretty much. And then I came back and I said, Trev, I want to do point karate. I want to be a top fighter like these people here. And then I worked my way up to full contact. So the second time we worked out, we actually started doing point. But it was a heavy point. Like it was a point that you could clock somebody. And I didn't know how to punch, but I started learning how to punch. And he wasn't much of a puncher either when it came to point karate. He was more like a kickboxer. So he was swinging more like boxing. Well, again, this is 1981. That same year, 1981, when I did my first full season of tournaments, which was probably about 10 tournaments, mm-hmm. I won 2 grand championships as a junior, fighting against the black belts now. Even though I was wearing the green belt half of the year, the second half of the year, I wore a purple belt. but I'm an asshole. I didn't want a regular purple belt. I went to this store called King G Sign. Again, back to hip hop. I didn't want to be a biter. I wanted to have original flavor. So I go to this King G Sign store all the way in Brooklyn. Man, that thing was like 2.5 hours just to get there by train, and you get lost. Plus, you got to take a bus, bus and train. Oh, forget about it. But I was on a mission to get my freaking this belt, and I saw a belt there, but it was purple. Now in Taekwondo we didn't have purple belt, but there they had purple belt. And I saw this belt, but it was like a lavender belt. And I was like, you know what? That kind of looks like it'll match with my uniform now. Not the pink one, not the peach one, but the blue one that I dyed. Mm-hmm. I did the same thing. I went to dye a blue uniform. You know what happened? It didn't come out blue because it only had one dye. It came out lavender. I said, oh shit, this doesn't match the belt. And some people got those pictures.
Better.
Again, nobody else was going to have my shit. Don't bite my style. Hip hop, it was my mindset. I'm freaking 15 years old. So people started following me. In other words, when I went to fight in the ring, in the tournament, all of a sudden everybody used to come around the ring. I never noticed it until after. But I always used to remember when I used to fight that they used to grab the mic and say, everybody sit down. No one can see, sit down. Because they used to come around my ring like layers of people. Like rows and
yeah.
It was crazy when I look at it now. And then you hear guys like Golden Feet say, "Yeah, we used to be watching you." So it was like a show because I was doing kicks and punches. I was doing techniques that nobody had seen before. But one of the reasons was this: in 1981, I went to, like I said, the biggest tournament in the country at the time, and one of them was the U.S. Open, all the way in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I went with Jonas. Now, in the basement, I told Jonas, listen, when we went to a tournament, I said, you're my instructor, so if anyone says something, you argue for me. He never argued with anybody. But he would get credit for being my instructor. Fuck, I used to get pissed off, right? So Golden Feet's the one that says, oh, we used to, he makes me laugh when he said that. We used to be like, oh, check him out. Oh, man, he's going to be a problem. He's going to kick your ass. No, he's going to kick your ass. Guys, listen. What it is this. I started a documentary years ago where people sent me testimonials, and I had some footage and stuff, and then the pandemic came, and it kind of messed everything up. But so those of you who are watching, if you can send me a testimonial video, 30 seconds or a minute of, on my martial arts, or even business, what have you, maybe it'll make it into the documentary. So this is part of it, because a lot of times I have conversations and they don't get recorded, but there's a lot of history. We owe it to our loved ones to record our history. We're the patriarchs of our family. Without that, then a lot of that history is just gone. Like right now, I know that Marvelous Mark Farmer said that there's magazines that he has all over the place. And somebody else, oh my God, I spoke to some incredible people, like Marvelous Mark Farmer, and I'm going to say it like that every damn day. He is marvelous. That guy really made my day yesterday. And it was a really phenomenal day. I had a chance to speak to Darren Woodridge. I mean, this guy literally died. Or should have been dead. There was no heart. You guys might have saw the interview. There was no blood pumping in his heart. And he's standing there talking. And the doctor smacks him and says, don't fall asleep. Because he's not supposed to be talking, let alone drive himself after having a massive heart attack. Yeah. They call it the Widowmaker, the heart attack. And I stayed up all last night, honey. You haven't heard it. But I stayed up last night doing Darren's song. Damn it, you know what? I'm a freaking world premiere right now. I did 2 songs for Darren Woolridge, guys. I'm a world premiere right now. I can't hold back. I was going to do it tonight, but I got to do it now because last night, Little Bit was doing her little bit dance when I was playing the music. You like the track on one of them, right?
Yes.
So I had to combine a few things. Oh, my God. Yeah, this is all improv, but this is all data that, or I should say, information that can... If it inspires people, man, let it be. Because honestly, I'm inspired. So Darren Woolridge, phenomenal martial artist, but his story comes from a real, dark place. What's the dark place? The ghetto, man. The ghetto sometimes is just... Okay, so here's the first one. Guys, tell me what you think. This is a world
This is
premiere.
about the legendary Darren Woolridge. Yeah. Take it back to the 70s, Patterson, New Jersey. The projects where the picket fences don't exist and the street lights dictate your life. Sink or swim. Survival of the fittest. Let's go. Born in the bricks where the hallway saw the violence. Addicts on the steps, baby silence was the silence. Mama raising 9 kids, said no TV today. Get your butt outside, even though the bullies wanna play. Chase home daily, lock the door, heart beating fast. Mama said, go fight or you ain't gon' last. I look different, mixed race, call it red bone. They thought I was Rican, so I felt all alone. Had to scrap for my color, had to scrap for my space. But the hunger in my belly was the hardest thing to face. Your mama gave me 25 cents for a loaf of bread. Don't lose a key or the family won't be fed. Walking to the store, got jumped by a grown man. Beat the boots off me, took the money from my hand. Went home crying, mama said we don't eat this week. That pain right there, that's the peak, that's the street. I swore all my life I'd never feel that defeat. That 25 cents birthed a beast in the street. It wasn't for the trophies, it wasn't for the fame. It was desperation running through my veins. From the platters and projects to the abandoned floor. I learned how to fight so I wouldn't be poor. Ain't no rules for me when I step in the ring. In survival mode, baby, I'm the taekwondo king. Saturday at 3, Channel 5, Kung Fu Theater. Watching Bruce Lee, he was the ultimate leader. 5 deadly venoms in the 36 chambers. Sneaking in the movies, dodging all the dangers. Went home, grabbed a broom, cut the stick in half. Made my own nunchucks, but don't you dare laugh. If I broke mama's broom, yo, the consequences thick. I joined the Young Dragons. Had to learn to stand my ground to get initiated. Had to go a few rounds, 6 guys on me banging out, catching fades. That's how the foundation of a warrior was made. It wasn't for the trophies, it wasn't for the fame. It was desperation running through my veins. From the titles and projects to the abandoned floor. I learned how to fight so I wouldn't be poor. Ain't no rules for me when I step in the ring. In survival mode, baby, I'm the taekwondo king. Met Master Bob, but my pockets were hollow. Couldn't pay the fees. That's a hard pill to swallow. He said the kid's gifted, but he comes from the poor, so we made a deal. Right there at the door, I teach you for free, but you pay with your sweat. Every tournament I pick, you fight. That's the bet. I became his hitman, traveling up the coast for that first big loss. Yeah, that hurt the most. Jumping lazy, yo. Only 35 pounds, knocked me out cold in the very third round. We were crying in the locker room, filled with doubt. My boy said you didn't fight back, you took the easy route. Took a year off, ran 10 miles a day. 8 slept, who karate, prepared for fray. Rematch came, I had the street in my eyes. Ain't no rules for me, I severed the ties. Being so bad, the ref threw me across the court. Stop, you get disqualified. Dashing his hopes, that street mentality, yeah, never did the part. Took the point blank bullet for a friend in the heart. Wait, that was later, but the spirit was the same. Darren Woolridge, remember the name. Yeah. From the broomstick to the black belt, from the hunger plains to the Hall of Fame. It's not just a sport, it's life or death in the Patterson projects, and I chose life. Peace. Another J. Gideonson production for UMAN OG.
That sounded like Bruce Lee. It was us. One, I can't hit the high note. So that's one story. Darren Woolridge. He hasn't heard the song yet. Man, so anyway, so I get an opportunity to have a guy like Darren Woolridge, who his story is phenomenal. The guy is not only did he become a sheriff, meaning that they voted him in, but he started teaching for the sheriff when he was just a cadet, which is unheard of. He started teaching martial arts to them. And again, unheard of. Now, and then he beat cancer. He lost a kidney. His twin brother passed away. Of course, you hear that story about. Anyway, just on and on and on. These people are my heroes. Golden Feet. My man. I mean, do we go to New Jersey without contacting him? Even though we can, but no, we can't because that's my brother. You know, even though he calls me uncle sometimes. And this is the martial arts camaraderie that we don't get a chance to have because we're the dinosaurs that nobody remembers and they don't care about us. But I'm us. We're us. I care about us. I'm doing this thing. But every once in a while, the devil tries to get into my mind and gets me pissed off because some of us will do some stupid crap. You know? And that's what happened to me this week. So yesterday I said, I'm taking the day off. I did not ask anybody to call me. So I spoke to Darren Woolridge. I spoke to Martin Mark Farmer. And James Sisko called me. James Sisko, this is a guy who got shot 7 times. No, first he was born, and they literally took him to the wrong house. For 10 days, he was in the wrong house. So at born, he was switched. And then his mother was a drug addict, his father, whatever, and literally got shot, left for dead, where they put the tarp over him.
Yeah.
And his mother said, no, he's not dead. And he actually checked and he wasn't. He was 19 years old. Within less than 3 years, he was playing professional football. Played 5 games with this team for the AFL, which became the NFL. And on the 5th game, he gets paralyzed. He gets hit in his back. Now he can't move from the waist down. He went through a therapy that was unheard of. Bottom line, not only was he walking, 1978, he wins that same tournament, the U.S. Open that I competed in.
Yeah.
1978. 9-foot trophy. So his story is on and on and on. So he called me because he said, man, I love what you did. I want you to write my autobiography. And I was like, wow, that's what I want to do. I want to help people get their story laid out and eventually told in documentaries and then also, you know, autobiography, maybe even docu-movies. Why not? But I think it starts with me. So that's why I'm starting to document my thing. So if you're watching this, and please send me a video. I started this years ago, never had a chance to finish. Send me a video, 30 seconds or a minute, whatever it is you want, about your personal history with me or what you saw, whatever you want. It's up to you. And most likely it will make it into the documentary because when it comes down to it, guys, I am a blessed person. I'm 20. I have this older woman with me who's 30.
I'm 2010.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you could be any age you want, guys. Think about it. I could be 30 if I want. If she's 30, I could be 30, and then we're the same, right? It's a mindset. I hate when people act like they're old when they're not. We can act like we're old immediately. But no, that's not a choice. Today is Friday. I'm going to go teach martial arts class. I'm going to be playing with the kids for a little while. That's what I'm going to do. And then tomorrow, we'll probably be playing with the arcade. You know, whatever because now somebody wants to go to the arcade. So life is short, guys, and you got to have these little things that make you happy. I'm the happiest I've been in my entire life. I can say that right now. And documenting these things are important because I have a cousin that I never even met until like 3 weeks ago, just about 3 weeks ago. Hopefully we get a chance to see my uncle today. And Carmen is phenomenal. It's like I've known her my entire life because I have. She's in my DNA, but I never met her personally, which is crazy. And there's another cousin named Madeline who's her sister that she never even met. But because of Facebook, hey, we get a chance to communicate and meet people. What do you think about Carmen?
Amazing. She's awesome.
And my nieces were like...
They're adorable.
Yeah, I'm saying nieces. They're really cousins. But they're feeling that type of connection. So all of us are extended family members in the martial arts, but we don't know other people's stories within the same room. You know? And that's crazy because the truth of the matter is that I'm not sure if he's still there. Yeah, that's John, my man John. Okay, this is my man John. And of course, my man John was the reason why I went to Yankee games multiple times. And at the time, it was my friends and my brother and even my ex-girlfriend and even Julio Pabon. So this guy, he's from Rhode Island. He's done some incredible things, you know. Security guy, police officer, private security. but he used to also sell martial arts supplies, and he's a martial artist. I appreciate you, John. Rumka, my man, or I should say, El Macho. Macho. Big Yankee fan. He even goes to the, he might be going to spring training. He might be there right now. The guy's travel quite, yeah, he might be traveling. So, no, we don't know Billy Beast. I'm not sure if he's actually there, but Billy Beast is the reason why I started documenting things, because he literally sent me these videos of him and I and a bunch of other people competing about well over 10 years ago. And he was saying how I should post them, and he started posting them too. So props to Billy Beeson, because if it wasn't for Billy, I would have never, started doing that. John's the one who asked for Coco. What's Coco?
What's Coco?
Yeah, we told her, she's over there.
She's meditating still.
But anyhow, I'm dedicated to doing whatever it takes to make sure that your guys feel important, because you are important, and your story has to be told. And it's important to me that I do whatever I can. March 28th is the tournament. Last time we had people participating from a total of 16 states. And some hadn't competed in 40 years. We know the oldest person was 85. I know of 9 people who had different stages of cancer, and they made no excuses. Marv just became 65. Marvelous. So that means he's the youngest in the 65 to 69 division. Master Ty is going to be 50. He's going to be the youngest in the 50 to 54 division. It's another gentleman that just turned 70. He's going to be the youngest in the 70-74 division. And if you're 73, you're too young to compete in the 75 to 79 division. So there's no excuses when it comes to age, fighting forms and weapons. And it's really a reunion of people who actually don't want to just talk about the past, but they actually want to still kick some assets. Your assets are the things that you have, not just financial, but mental and physical. Tap into some of those assets. Let's kick some assets. Get off your assets. Stop making excuses. Don't use age as a number. And the only thing I can say that I do not agree with someone who I love dearly, and that is Billy Beaston, and I just say that because that guy's helped me so much, is that you don't retire from karate. You maybe stop competing for a while, but there's no such thing as retirement. Why was you punching then? You didn't retire from karate. You just chose not to, which is your prerogative, and focus on other things in life, and I get that. But I don't want you guys to, how about this? You can come out of retirement. How's that? For those of you who choose that. Anyway, I'm gonna continue doing this, sharing information, and that's about it. So I just wanted to really say that yesterday there was one person who I didn't call back. I just realized I saw the missed call, and I'm gonna call him back today. That's gonna be my first phone call that I'm actually gonna make. But everybody called me yesterday. Again, I put, the first phone call was from my student Fabian, the Latin Dragon Carrillo. The guy did do a movie called The Latin Dragon. It wasn't big here in the United States, but it was huge in South America. And that was the first phone call he made to me. And that was crazy when I think about it, because that guy is extremely busy. So that was my first call. And then it went from there to just a whole bunch of magical, incredible people. I was on the phone yesterday for 7 hours plus. And
yes,
the only thing I did not do was record it, and that's not going to happen again. So that's why, as I was speaking to you, I said, let's just record it. I'm surprised you didn't expect this, did you?
no.
But, hey, how about one more? One more. Because you didn't hear the second song.
No.
All right. So, guys, this is the world premiere of song number 2 for the legendary Darren Woolridge.
Yeah. Patterson, New Jersey. We talked about the hunger. We talked about the fight. But you don't know the whole story until you see the badge. From the young dragons to the sheriff's department. This is the evolution. Let's go. I grew up where the hallways had addicts and the steps had blood fights for my life in the rain and the mud master. Bob said you don't.
Oh, no, wait a minute. No, we heard that one before. This is the one. Please, never mind. This is the second one.
Hey.
This about the legendary Darren Woolridge.
That's right, baby. This is it.
Take it back to the 70s, Patterson, New Jersey, the projects where the picket fences don't exist and the street lights dictate your life. Sink or swim. Survival of the fittest. Let's go. Born in the bricks, where the hallways saw the violence. Addicts on the steps, baby. Silence was the silence. Mama raising 9 kids, said no TV.
Oh, I'm confused now. Did I play that one? Oh, guys.
No, it was the first one you played, didn't you?
Yeah, but there was 2 different songs that... Oh, I'm messing up, guys. I apologize here. I think... So the first one was a rap song. This one here was the second song. Or was it the first song? Oh, I'll play it anyway.
Yeah.
What was it for?
Patterson, New Jersey. We talked about the hunger. We talked about the fight. But you don't know the whole story until you see the badge. From the young dragons to the sheriff's department. This is the evolution.
That's right. This is it. This is it.
Let's go. I grew up where the hallways had addicts and the steps had blood fighting for my life in the rain and the mud master. But I said you don't pay, you fight what I say. I was a hitman for the dojo, doing it the hard way. But the streets have a gravity, pulling you to hell. 1989, a story I got to tell. Big fight in the street, guns came out to play. My boy jumped in front of the bullet, saved me that day. Point blank in the heart, spun the gun with a kick. I said, game over, man. This life is too sick. Open the school in the ghetto. Dealers at my door. I'm barefoot in the snow. Settle in the store. Had to leave it all behind. Told my wife, let's go to Puerto Rico. Cleaning planes just to lay low. They looked in my face and they saw the love. But the community gave me nothing but love. From the street corner, fights in the academy floor. I kicked down the barrier, kicked down the door. He's a perk, he's a criminal. That's what they said. Now I'm the director and I lead them instead. From the projects to the precinct. I raised the bar from the streets to the sheriff. I earned that star, came back to Jersey, friend running for the seat. He said, Darren, I need you to help me with the street. I can't be sheriff without you. You got the people's trust. I said, I'm making too much money, but helping was a must. I walked in the department, 800 million strong. They looked at me like I didn't belong. How did he get here? He's a thought from the block. The sheriff stepped in, told them all to take stock. He's the highest ranking martial artist in this place. He's gonna retrain you, so watch your space. 7 top officers, 3 days to train. I said, rush my box and I brought the pain. Big, big, big. I straighten them out. First you get teaching in the academy, removing the doubt. Use me as a tool, but I changed the rules. Now the thug is the teacher, schooling the fools. They looked at my face and they saw a thug, but the community
All right, what do you think?
Awesome.
That's the second song. Darren Woolrich, the legend, baby. Hey, Kazoo. Love you.
Survived the gangs, survived the hate. But 2013, I had a date with fate. Working out in the park, felt the dump in my chest. Just a jailhouse workout, putting powers to the test. Drove my truck to the hospital, vision getting black for security for a spot. Yeah, I'm still on attack. Walked inside, the doctor slapped my face. Don't you fall asleep, you're losing the race. 97% block, the riddle making struck. They said I should be dead, running out of luck. No blood to the brain, no blood to the heart. But the creator wasn't finished, that was just the start. 2 weeks later, running up the stairs, doctors lined up just to see who dares to survive the impossible. A modern day warrior, from the street fights to the celestial courier. I'm still here, director of the sheriff's department. Still teaching, still reaching. That's one. From the 25 streets to the pension. Darren Woolrich legend. Peace. Another Jake to the music. Production for you, man. OGs. Us one.
What do you think, honey?
Beautiful. I like it.
The stories are just phenomenal, and I am blessed to be able to tell these stories, and we've just begun. Anyhow, it's time to shower up, get ready for me, and I think we gotta eat.
Well, you. Not me. I'm going to make myself coffee.
Oh, excuse me. That means she wants to eat later,
Yeah.
a few times.
Probably.
Otherwise, how am I gonna roll you down the aisle? Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. All I'm saying is that I'm grateful and I appreciate you again. If you guys would do me a favor, send me a testimonial video, 30 seconds, a minute, up to you, based on whatever you want to say. It might make it into my or our documentary.
Yes.
All right, guys. AB.
See you later.
God bless.